And hello, everyone. I'm London Westy, and this is Cache Canada Chats. Welcome to the show. And today we're going to be talking about a few things, actually, not just Adventure Labs, but we are going to be discussing Adventure Labs and what to do when you do not have a signal. There are places in geocaching land. Obviously, everybody should know this by now. When you're going out, you just completely loses a signal altogether. Now, what do you do when you're doing an adventure lab and that happens? And it can happen quite often. So we will have our guest is coming up shortly. It is GMS times 2, Scott from Ojai, California, and he's going to be discussing the how-to of dealing with no data. Now, at Cache Canada on Facebook, we did post a link to a video that he had shared, and I can give it to you right here. So if this is his channel right here, the Scott at Ojai Videos, and he had a video on there, and I'm going to share that screen right now. That one right there. Okay, hang on a second. I'm going to share that to show you his screen. So we're going to go right here. There we go. Share. Okay. So this is his video, and the video is the one that is right down on this is the first latest one that has been loaded. What to do when you don't have a signal. So that is pretty much what he's going to be discussing tonight, and we encourage you to go to his channel and watch that video. It is very, very self-explanatory. It does a great job. And oops, panic. Somebody's panicking. Oh no. Signal the Frog. Yes, that is Signal the Frog to my right. Kind of blurry, but he's there. He's hanging out. So we're going to be having him come up soon. He's just in the green room getting changed. So we have a bunch of people in the chat room already, and this is pretty cool. We have a bunch of people watching. Andrea, nice to see you. Udak, Nandy, hello from Northern Virginia. Wow, cool. So cool to have some American people along. And Roger Sanderson is on. Kantai Charles, Janet Yu, Mrs. Wewer from the UK. Wow, she's up late. Holy doodle. BK649 and BK73, awesome to have you with us. Doug Belanger, he has the hockey game on, so it's either watching the hockey game or watching Cache Canada. He was in a huge dilemma what to do, and we hope we can get Osfox with us on, because originally this was scheduled on YouTube to air at 10 o'clock. And what happened there was, I think it was because I had listed it when we were in Victoria, BC. So the timing was off a little bit, and Dougie B was kind enough to let me know that the signal or the timing was off. So I would quickly corrected that. Excuse me. Sharon Steinberg, how are you? And Miney Mag, hi, Cache Canada from California. Awesome. Very, very cool. We'll have another Californian in shortly. And oh, the baby is not sleeping, so jumped on. All right, that's pretty cool. Well, not cool that the baby's not sleeping, but we're hoping you're doing well. So we are going to just share with you a little bit of news. Here, hold on a sec. So if you had not heard yet, GeoWoodstock is August the 13th, and it is going to be on this year before the celebration event in Seattle. So just make sure you got that on your calendar. The GeoWoodstock is a go. No matter what is going to happen, it is on. Actually, Karen and I were both sharing dinner with some of the organizers of GeoWoodstock. And they said it's a go. Come hell or high water, it's on. and it's going to be there. And Cache Canada is going to be at GeoWoodstock, and we hope to see you there. I don't know if we're going to have a booth yet or not for the geovloggers, but we'll have something. We'll be there, and we'll be giving some prizes away for those who come out, and we'll do some trivia to do that. And, oh, speaking of prizes, you can win tonight. You can win a GeoWoodstock trackable. We're going to be giving away 2 of them tonight. This is one. Oh, you got it. Oh, there we go. It's kind of hard to see. I have it in the plastic. It is a GeoWoodstock tag. So it's a little metal maple leaf tag. I love the maple leaf shape. Isn't that cool? They copied Cache Canada. I don't know how they got away with that. And we're also going to be giving away one of these really, really nice, solid GeoWoodstock coins. And this is in the shape of a maple leaf. We actually gave us 2 different designs, and we're going to be giving away one of them tonight, and that will be near the end of the show. So you either stick with us or come back at the end of the show, and hopefully you don't miss it. We're going to be reading out a couple of trivia questions for you to answer, and Scott is going to help us pick the winner and make sure we get it right. So there we go. So we're going to be moving on. Make sure you are registered. There is a difference between putting on your will attend and registering. They are 2 completely different things. A will attend just means you're going to be going to the event and you'll be there. So that tells them the kind of the numbers, but also the registering gives you access to the packages of items that you will want to have, which includes the geocoins, the t-shirts, the neck wallets, and the whole bit, and lunches and so forth. So anyway, we would like to bring on our guest shortly. Yeah. Oh, good day. Oh, Osfox made it. Good. I was worried because he put his reminder on, and I was thinking thinking it was 10 o'clock. So there we go. So here we're going to jump in. Wait a minute. Whoop, I lost myself. All right. We're going to bring on our guest, but I just want to show you something first. Here we go. And just about what the news we were talking about. Here we go. Are you registered? Better find out. And if you go to GeoWoodstock's page, that will be able to tell you more about how to figure out if you're registered or not. I'll try to bring that up right here. Share. There we go. You can see right on their page, GeoWoodstock 18, the Fraser Valley, Canada. It says click to register and log your will attend, and then it does give instructions on what to do to figure out if you have already registered, because I can't even remember. So I still have to look that up. And if you can't figure it out, there is an email to send to ask the question of, okay, what do I do and how do I figure that out? So there we go. And we're going to bring up our guest shortly, but here we go, a little intro.
Hello, my name is Scott, GSM times 2, and welcome to this special presentation courtesy of Lookout Lisa and the Caching League. As you make your way down the pathway to expert and mentor geocacher, perhaps even lifestyle geocacher, you may encounter adventure labs where there is little or no cell service.
And here we are. There you are, Scott from Ojai, California.
And can you hear me well? And is everything going good?
Perfect. I can see you. I can hear you. And life is good.
Life is fantastic. Thank you very much. And thanks for the little introduction. That's a nice little video. I'm sure that you'll put the link to it because it gives a real good summary of what we're going to talk about here today.
Yeah. Well, I'll add that link into the show notes. I already added, just before we came on, the notes that you sent. they're in the description for the video. So there you go. So I'll add the link to that video as well. It is an awesome video. It's very, very well done, very easy to follow, step by step, and you even give pauses. I'll wait for you. Go. I like that. That was awesome. Yeah, you did a great job.
Has a little homework assignment in there, and absolutely, you need to stop and pause and do the homework. Do the live update. And yeah, thank you. I think it's a good training video.
Yeah. Were you a teacher?
I never got a chance to be a teacher, but I was I was a physical education and English major. Graduated with a teaching credential, actually 2 teaching credentials, but never got a job teaching, and instead, went to become a Harbor Patrol officer and all that fun stuff.
I studied to be a photographer, and I worked for the auto industry. Imagine that.
Imagine that.
Yeah. Life throws you some curves, but it was all good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How have you been?
I've been great.
Good.
We just got back from a wonderful trip to Victoria, British Columbia, on Vancouver Island. It was fabulous. I didn't want to come home because I knew a blizzard was waiting for us when we got here. So yeah, we're that's about 2 feet deep in snow, and we still have to shovel out our doorway. So that's waiting tomorrow. But it's going to warm up for 3 or 4 days, so hopefully the snow will melt. So,
2 feet. How many centimeters is that?
That'd be about 40.
Wow.
40 to 60, yeah, something like that. Yeah, we got a dumping. Toronto got hit pretty hard the night before we came back.
Well,
so
have fun.
So from palm trees in Victoria, which I had no idea they have palm trees in Southern California or Southern Vancouver Island, and they're not natural, obviously, but they do grow there.
Yes, they do.
And that was very soothing. I really love palm trees. They just make me feel calm and kind of cool.
Yeah. Okay, so here's a little trivia for you. The television show Psych, which was like a detective show, was actually shot. It was supposed to be in Santa Barbara. It was shot in Vancouver.
Oh, very cool. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Vancouver is apparently the Hollywood of the North.
Yep.
Yeah. So a lot of stuff is filmed there, and Toronto as well.
Yep.
So when you go to GeoWoodstock, one of the things they do mention is different places that you're going to. Oh, actually, this was in Jay Kennedy's book, Geocaching in the Fraser Valley. When you do go, there is a website you can look up to figure out where to park, because sometimes where you think you're going to be parking for a geocache, there may be a movie production or television show filming at the time and using all the parking.
Aha. That's good to know.
Yes. So, and if anybody's interested in that book, I'm sure you can find it on you can find it on Amazon. It's geocaching guidebook for Fraser Valley and Vancouver, and I'm just right halfway through it already. It was a long plane ride, so it was a good read.
Very good.
You are here to tell us about no data and what do we do?
Exactly. Yeah, so this is kind of an interesting little progress that I've been going for about a year. What happened is in February last year, I was given the honor of setting a adventure lab as part of the Lincoln Highway project, and got a section up in Nevada, up by Lake Tahoe or east of Lake Tahoe. And it's about a 55-mile stretch of the Lincoln Highway. And I'm out there and I'm collecting all my information, and I've got a good internet connection, plenty of cell coverage, doing everything that I need to do and getting all the information for my AL. And I come home and I'm writing up the AL, and I'm like, I wonder if everybody has coverage out there. And I look at the other two providers, and they don't even fake that they have coverage out there. It's like here's 30 miles of my AL is in white. It's just like there's no.
Whoops.
So I'm like, okay,
So,
now what do I
wait,
do?
how did you have coverage?
I had the other provider, and
Oh,
that did
okay.
have
Right.
coverage.
Yep.
And
Right.
I don't want to be an advertisement for one over the
Yeah.
other, but
Yeah.
it starts with V. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Look out
so
for the horizon.
yeah, over the horizon, yeah. So I started to poke around with it, and I don't think I'm going to get into a lot of the detail of what I did, because
It,
what's important is what happens.
yeah.
And what happened is I found out that, in fact, you can do adventure labs without a data connection or without an internet connection. I'm just going to use internet connection.
Yep.
You can use cell
Yeah.
coverage, data coverage, or
Yep.
internet. And I'm going to use internet because because that includes Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. And basically, there's a couple things. I just kind of consider it. It's the same as using a cell phone to geocache offline. So the GPS is going to work. You have downloaded the information for the geocaches. You just can't log them if you're not online. And that's pretty much the setup for adventure labs, um, with a little bit of exception. One, when you load the adventure lab onto your cell phone, it's stored on your cell phone, but it's not stored on your cell phone permanently. If you were to exit that adventure, or you were to exit the app, then you're going to have to reload it. And so
Oh,
the
I
first,
I didn't know that. I thought it got stored in your cache data. It was there.
it does not.
Ah,
It
okay.
does not.
Yeah. Okay.
So one of the keys is make sure you don't close the adventure. Make sure you don't
Yep.
close the app,
Yep.
because if you do, you're going to open up the adventure. You're going to say search here, and it's going to not be able to search because it doesn't have an internet connection.
Right. Okay.
Um, so the first key is to make sure that you load it in before. Well, you do have internet connection. If that, however that internet connection is. And then make sure that it doesn't close. Now, there's a couple things that will close it, and one of them is if you run Waze or Google Maps or something. Those apps will close your adventure lab. They'll actually close the app, so you can't use that. So
Mm-hmm.
you go in your adventure and you're just tempted to push that and get turn by turn directions. Um, you're not going to be able to do that because it will close, and then you're not going to be able to back in.
Hmm.
Um, let me see where I'm here. The other common problem is you will accidentally close the app. You'll be at a screen and you'll go back and you'll go back and oops, you went back one too far, and
Yeah.
now it's going to close.
Hmm.
So here's here, the thing that you want to do is load it, put the phone in airplane mode. If you know you're going to go into a section where there's no internet connection, just put it in airplane mode, and it plays really well in airplane mode, actually.
Hmm. Yep.
Um, One thing, the GPS is working, so you can break the geofencing.
Yep.
You break the geofencing, the answer thing pops up, and you can press it. And now, if you type in a wrong answer, just like if you had an internet connection, it would immediately say incorrect answer.
Hmm.
If you have an internet connection and you type in the right answer, it does that little delay, that little spinning disc of success, I like to call. You're like, oh, I
Yep.
know that I'm right. I'm just going to wait for it to make the connection with the server, and then I'm going to be right. If you don't have an internet connection, it can't make the connection with the server. If you're in airplane mode, it can't make connection with the server. But what it will do is it will say you cannot submit a correct answer without
Hmm.
without a connection. So what do you know? You know that you've gotten the correct answer.
Oh.
So
I don't
one or
remember.
two.
I don't remember seeing that. I've used this strategy a few times, but I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. It pops up, and
Yeah.
yeah, it is there. So, so immediately, if you're a paper and pencil person like I am, write down what the answer is, because you are going to need that a little bit later.
Yeah.
Or you can do a screenshot if you want to do a screenshot.
Yeah.
Um,
Now, okay. Can you go into a different app on your phone? Would that mess it up? Because I go
Great.
into a Notepads app and I
Uh,
just type in the answer.
that would probably be okay. The apps that do work, you can go ahead and use any of your GPS, any of your geocaching apps.
Yeah.
So it
So I
seems
mean,
that the
it's
official app,
all it is like a sticky note app.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I can't answer specifically that, but I'm pretty sure
Correct.
that it's going to work,
Yeah.
because all geocaching apps will work. Um, the camera will work. The one thing that I would caution you is make sure that you go back to the geocaching app so it doesn't close down.
Right.
And that's another thing that I wanted to make sure that I say. Once you have it loaded up, your adventure loaded up, put it into the compass. Go details, hit that little compass, and use the compass. The compass is going to keep the window open. It's going to um, prevent your phone from going into a standby mode.
Yeah.
So go ahead and make sure that you put that in. Now,
Does Matt navigate by map do the same thing? Like not the point by
right.
point direction, but just from here to there.
Yeah, if you wanted
Yeah.
to have the map open, the map is fine.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
but I'm not sure the map is going to keep the screen open. As a matter of fact, I know that the map isn't going to be the screen open.
Hmm.
It will leave the screen open for a considerable period of time,
Yeah.
but it will
Okay.
eventually close the screen.
Okay. Be careful of that.
Be very careful of that.
Yeah.
The other thing that you want to make sure that you do is hook up to a power source. Because as you know, as everybody knows,
Yeah.
the Adventure Lab app is power hungry. And
Mm-hmm.
the last thing you want to do is lose that. Yeah. Now, I'm kind of all over the place on this, and I don't really mean to be, but we have created a document. It's a Google document, and it's in those notes that I sent.
Yep.
And it has all of this information in there. Actually, better organized than I'm doing right now, as a matter of fact.
Let me see here. I'm going to share that. So I'm going to share that to a window. No, not that. Chrome
There's a
tab.
little Bitly ink.
Is that it? Oh.
I just put it in our private chat, so you can move it over there if you. Oh, perfect.
There we go. Yep.
Excellent. So yeah, there's a little Bitly ink and link, and if that'll take people to the document.
Yep.
So let's see. We got the data storage. Connect. Close the other apps.
Do not run Waze, Google Maps.
Do not run Waze. Do not run Google Maps. It has to be a non-sequential adventure. You can't do sequential adventures offline, because to do sequential, you have to get the answer.
Correct.
Okay.
You can do it, but you've got to go in and out of data. So you've got to drive to a restaurant, open, get the answer, boom, close it, go back out. It just doesn't lend itself well for sequential.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't. So, let's see. Follow to get the compass. Put the phone in airplane mode. Don't use Waze. And then, as I said, in my tests, the official app, GeoGoes, CGO, they all worked. I would imagine that Cachly would also work. So no problem. But again, if you go into another app, make sure you go back into the Adventure Lab app. I did make that mistake one time. Had the camera, was all giddy, taking pictures, started driving, the phone goes off, and I'm stuck.
So there's a comment from the chat. Dougie B says he understands that Scott uses 2 phones in the field. Can he give insight on why and how he does so? Is that true?
Well, there's two reasons that I do two phones.
Yep.
One, I geocache, as many people know, my dog Bellagio is a premium member of geocaching.com. So when I'm out geocaching with her, it's just easier for me to have my phone and she has her phone. Um, and the way that works, that's an old phone. She doesn't have data on her phone. So I just use mine as a hotspot. She hooks into it and we're going fine. Specifically, one time that I had to use it, and this is where I really had to fine tune this document, was I was going to go up to do a section of California Highway 1 adventure series in Big Sur, and it's 60 miles, and there is no internet access there. There are 2 10-stage adventure labs there. So I load one adventure lab onto one phone, one adventure lab onto the other phone, and then I work one adventure lab. When I get done with it, and this phone has always been on, and it's always had the compass going, and everything's going. I now switch phones, and I can do the other adventure lab. But that's a pretty unusual circumstance. Hopefully, a lot of people don't have to do that.
Yeah.
But it's also good to have, well, an example. I mentioned that I was using my camera. In that case, I was actually on doing part of the Big Sur. I had both phones had the same adventure on it. That wasn't, because I just needed to do one. And using my camera, I'm all happy and good. I'm on the 10th stage of a 10 stage, and it goes dead, and now I can't answer the question, and I am about 25 miles from any place that would have internet. I pull out the other phone. It's got the same one. I answered the question on the second phone, and now I've answered them all. It happens to be on 2 different phones, but as we'll discuss, that's okay. That works out fine. So yeah, let's see, where am I on
breaking the action here. Blake wanted to say hello.
Oh, very good. I had Bella over here. She's fallen asleep, so we're just going to leave her in that state.
He knows I have treats up on the desk here, so he's like, "Where's my treat? Where's my treat?" He's an occasional guest on Cache Canada.
I gotcha.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go, Mike.
So kind of going back to the basics and the sequence. So we've answered our question. Now we're going to back arrow back to the map. And when you go on the map, you can try and hit the little dots to go to the next location. But really, the better thing is to go up there and hit that little menu and drop down the list, and then you can pick the next one that you want to go to. And then you just continue to work them places. I'm not sure I understand that.
I think it means you're placing an order for takeout on the second.
Okay. Could be, except I don't have internet access, so
so you can't place an order.
I can't place that order. But use the back arrow, get back, use the drop down, get the list view, pick your next one, and then just continue to do that as you go through the entire adventure. And then when you're done,
he says no. He's ordering another phone.
He's ordering another phone. Okay.
He's placing an order for another phone.
Gotcha. Or just use an old one. Just use an old one, or don't buy a new one. Don't get set up for a second data. You don't need it. Just put one in hotspot and the other one.
Right.
One would be in hotspot.
Right. Yeah.
And the other is running off of that one.
That's true. That's cool. Yeah. Use that cracked phone that you have sitting up in the closet somewhere. Everybody's got one.
At least one.
Yeah. At least one. I might have 2.
Exactly. Yeah. Or take the hubby with you, or just borrow his phone.
Yeah.
So once you're done, the phone is going to remember where you were. As long as you crack the geofencing on every one of them, the phone remembers that. You can turn the phone off. You can exit the app. You can come back 3 weeks later it will remember that you're there. So you go and you load in the, you've got data connection, you got internet connection, go to the adventure, load it. It should say resume.
Yeah.
And then when you go to every location, instead of saying get closer, it will say answer.
Mm-hmm.
And because you have written these all down or taken a screenshot, you can go ahead and answer and give the answer.
Yeah, this is
And
something that I've used. Like, because you drop the fence, it's down. It's never coming back up again. You can some labs, if you go and if you have trouble with the answer, there are some that I've done. It's like, I don't know. I know one I did in Michigan. The object that you were supposed to see sitting on the book, which was a skull, wasn't there. It was not there. It was gone. So I
Right.
couldn't get the answer to guess it to save my life. So I messaged the CO, and about 3 weeks later, I got an answer back. And I was like, oh, okay, thanks. But because I had dropped the fence, went back to that lab, boom, 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 put in the answer, lab completed.
Perfect.
Yeah.
A perfect example of why this is important to, even know that. So excellent. Thanks for sharing that, Dave.
Yeah. Yeah, UDAC says, as a helpful hint, when I couldn't complete an adventure lab, I had to call. I had cell service, but the object with the answer was missing, and was able to find the answer and log it from home. Nice.
Perfect. Yeah, and so let's see. Before I move on to other little things, hit resume. Oh, iPhone users. That document. That's a document that's in progress. And here's something that I need from iPhone users. I have heard from iPhone users that once they get internet connection, they don't need to type in the correct answer. The correct answer has been remembered, and it automatically does. I don't have an iPhone, so I can't test that independently, but I have heard that from 2 people.
iPhone users, let us know if you know that answer right now, or get back to us and let us know.
Yep. And the best way to get to hold of me is through the geocaching messenger service, GSM ×2, GSM X2. I would really appreciate that information.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So I give this information because I think it's more important to give it than to try and hide this and or get your wife's old iPhone.
Yep.
So this is information that couch people can use to couch find adventure labs. But I really think it's really important. The phone it knows where it has been. It knows which geofencing has broken, but it doesn't know who is logged in. So I'll give you 2 examples. Friend of mine, ShareBear64, and her husband were doing the adventure lab for the Landsat Geo Tour, and it's 50 miles long, and there's 15 locations on it, and it's a great adventure lab.
Yeah.
They get to the last one where there isn't internet connection for the last 2 answers. He loses his and can't get back in, and he did not break the geofencing. So they get home and she's like, well, I guess we're going to have to go back. And I said, no, here's a workaround for you, Sharon. Give him your phone, let him log in as himself on your phone, and your phone will have broken the geofencing. He can answer from there. So they did. Gas Station Tuna, his daughter does not have her own phone. So they'll go out and do an adventure lab together. He'll answer all the questions, then log her in on that same phone. She can answer all the questions. So that's a very helpful little tip. So, yeah.
I could send Kelly Taylor. She's one of the lackeys working on Adventure Lab. Send her this information. That would be good. I think right now the only 2 videos are Cache Canada and behind the cache. There's
Okay.
2 videos. I think that's it.
Well, I think this is good information. I think it's last year was a really great year for me. I got to
Yeah.
set a cache on I got to set an adventure on the Lincoln Highway, which inspired me to organize the Route 66 series, which has inspired you guys to create the teach ales. Is that how do you pronounce it?
Apparently, yes. It's called the T-Chels. I
Which
never even thought of what you would say as an acronym, but yeah, the Trans Canada Highway Adventure Lab Series, or TCHALS.
right.
Yeah, T-Chels. So
Teach
T-Chels sounds good. Yeah.
Teach-el sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, we
T-Chels.
for
Yeah.
now if we can't agree on Ceto or Cyto, I'm not sure how we're going to ever agree on Teach-els, but
Yeah, I don't know what the mix is. Is it a 50-50 mix for Ceto and Saito, or
I
Ceto and whatever? I think
whatever.
it's Ceto, but whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Or Kaido, because it's
Kaido,
cache.
yeah.
It's a hard C
C.
in cache. Right.
Yeah.
So
That's
anyways,
true.
yeah.
So
So
so that was a good segue going into the Adventure Lab series. So you started with the Lincoln Highway.
I did, but I'm going to finish that thought
Oh,
because
okay. Go ahead.
that thought, and then I did California Highway 1.
Hmm.
But I honestly think worldwide, this is probably the best thing that I've done is come up with these ways to do adventure labs
Without data.
and educate people. And I appreciate you using your show to help spread the word that you can, in fact, do adventure labs without internet access. You just have to be very careful. Download this document, help me edit this document, and then watch the video.
Did you post it on the Adventure Labs Facebook page?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I think it's pretty far up there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I posted it on Cache Canada's Facebook page, and then just recently or today I posted, oh hey, by the way, we're on live tonight, and then somebody posted it as a response. Oh, good timing, because they wanted to know that. And
Oh, good.
even though you post it one place, somebody else might not see it until they see it here. So that's why I wanted to have you on as a guest, just to spread the word and get more awareness of it, because there are people that just don't know. They haven't experienced it yet, and then they're like, well, what do I do if, right?
Yeah. And two other things on this. One, sometimes that you're going into an area that doesn't have internet access. Sometimes you go into an area and you don't know that it doesn't have internet access. So you're going along and everything's going good. And sometimes that spinning wheel of success becomes a spinning wheel of death. It can't make the connection. It can't make the connection. It can't make the connection. I actually tested this out. I went for 8.5 minutes without making a connection. If you get that spinning wheel of death, immediately put your phone in airplane mode, and immediately it will tell you you cannot submit a correct answer.
And
So
then
now
you'll be good.
And then you're good. And
That
then
is
you can go to the next one.
That is an
Yes.
awesome point. Oh,
That is an awesome point. I'm glad I
yeah.
remembered it.
Yes, that is key. That could save a whole lot of profanity.
It really can, because it's spinning, and your reaction is, well, I'll just close it. But if you close it, you're out.
You're done.
You're
Yeah.
done.
Wow.
So put it in airplane mode immediately. It'll pop up, and then you can continue your adventure until you get internet access.
Nice. Yeah. And yeah, Doug says, thanks for the info. He has learned something about adventure labbing tonight. That's awesome.
And then the other thing that I would strongly suggest is do this to practice. You've got an adventure somewhere near your house. Put your phone into airplane mode. Get used to doing this. If you fail and something breaks, just get it out of airplane mode and then continue.
Yeah.
But practice someplace where you know that you got a good internet connection, and then you'll know how to react to it when you don't.
And this is a good strategy too I know one person did comment with Cache Canada that they don't have a lot of data. So they're annoyed that they can't do adventure labs. And I said, no, well, now, yes, you can. Just load the adventure up before you leave home and go out, in airplane mode. You're not using your data now. You can complete the adventure lab and answer all the questions when you get home.
And you can only do one adventure at a time. So
Right.
load one when you get home.
Yeah.
Complete that. Yeah. I'm just going through my head to make sure I'm not going to give bad information. Yeah. And then, okay, so you're going to use a little bit of data loading in the next one, but it's not a lot of data. Put it back in an airplane mode and, or go to Starbucks and
go to a restaurant that has Wi-Fi, queue up, get the next one, off you go. Here's a good question. I don't know the answer to this. Could playing on airplane mode save battery power?
I believe it does.
Because it's not doing as much.
It's not doing as much. It's not trying to connect with Facebook. It's not trying to, do all those other things. So I do believe it would save battery.
Yeah.
I haven't tested it, but
that's a key point. Turn everything else off. Well, if you're in airplane mode, you can't answer the Facebook posts as they pop up anyway. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Airplane mode is the best. There you go.
Airplane mode and an external power pack.
Yes.
Or 5.
Yeah. Or plugged into your cigarette lighter. We are constantly plugged into our vehicle. When we're out. Yeah. So that's a good strategy.
Yeah.
That's awesome information. I make sure everybody, I'll put that link in the description, and I will post that link again when we post the replay of this video to watch your video, because it is a really good, well laid out. You did I said this before, you did an awesome job putting it all together.
Thank you.
Just very well done.
Thank you. And I hope everybody who's in here will share these links in their local groups and in any place and every place that they can, because we need to get this word out. It's really useful, and I appreciate everybody's help doing that.
Do you need to open each Adventure Lab location of the lab, or just launch the lab? No, you need to open up each location.
Correct. Yes, you have to. You have to open the location. You have to break that geofencing. Get answer to pop up.
Yeah.
You don't even. You just answer it. Get the correct answer. Write it down. Take a screenshot, whichever your choice is.
Yeah.
And then you'll be good.
Yeah, you need to see in that location. You have to have the location open so that when you cross the fence, you'll see the word answer. And then, of course, you need to know what the question is, obviously. Because if I guess you could not know and guess when you get home. Just look around. Take a bunch of pictures.
If you want to take pictures of every single thing, go right ahead.
That's funny. This wasn't an adventure lab, but it was a virtual cache. We did somewhere. I think it was North Dakota somewhere. It was a grotto. Some religious thing where they have all these broken glass and pop bottle caps and whatever. We stopped, we looked at it, we go, wow, that looks really cool. We stopped, we looked, and Karen had taken all kinds of pictures. And then it wasn't like 30 minutes down the road, we stopped for gas or something. I forgot there's a virtual, and I looked it up, and it's at that grotto we stopped at. And I'm like, I don't know what it is now. And so I'm looking at the questions. Hey, look up your pictures. And she had the answer in her pictures.
Awesome.
It was awesome. It wouldn't have helped with it would have helped with an adventure lab, but no, it wouldn't have, because if we didn't know, we wouldn't have opened up the location, wouldn't have dropped the fence. So
right, wouldn't have dropped the fence. Yep.
Completely unrelated story.
That's okay. Unrelated.
Okay.
We can be feral. We can be feral cat.
I meant in advance while you have internet. No, because you don't have the location.
Okay. In advance. No, you don't need to open up locations. You just need to open up the adventure.
Right.
With internet access.
Yeah, she doesn't need to open up each location. Right.
Right.
Correct. Yes.
Yep. Okay. Yep. So Sharon, thanks for clarifying.
Yeah. Awesome. Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So now on to the Lincoln Highway. It all started there, and that's where you discovered the fact that you didn't have internet service.
That's where I discovered
it was in the desert. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the desert. It's in the middle of nowhere. And yeah, that's where I discovered that, oh, this could be a problem. And I started to do my investigations. And then it was definitely getting, and then we did the did the Route 66,
Yeah.
got that all set up. And I'm certain that there are places on Route 66 that people are going to wind up with these problems. As a matter of
Yeah.
fact, there is one person who has completed all of Route 66,
Wow.
and she did use some of this information to
Huh.
help her do it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Just answering BK 649, BK 73. Yes, just start the lab. Just open up the lab. That's all you have to
yeah,
do, and keep it
yeah,
open. Yeah.
yeah. Open, yeah, and thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
No, no, don't just load it.
Yeah.
Start it. Yep.
Yeah. Here's a question from UDAC. Are dedicated GPS users without cell phones able to find and log adventure labs another way? I don't believe so. Must be done with a smartphone.
It must be done. They can. There's a website, labs to GPX.
Yeah.
If you just type lab to GPX, you
Yeah.
can download the locations. You can actually read all the information, but no, a dedicated GPS user cannot connect to the uh, geocaching servers to
Right.
complete that
Yeah.
web.
You need the smartphone to drop the fence. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to drop the fence, and then you need a connection with the GCHQ servers
Yeah.
to get credit for the answer.
So how many adventure labs, on the Lincoln Highway? How many are there? Is there 100 or more?
Um, I think there are. I think he has like 95 adventures,
Hmm.
and approximately 900 locations.
Right. So
Uh,
they could vary between, like, it could be four. Most of them are 10.
right.
But yeah, so 95 individual lab
Yeah.
or adventures with
Yeah.
multiple locations.
Yeah.
Route 66, you know how many there are there?
88.
88.
There's 88 locations. There's about 850 locate. There's 88. No, excuse me. There's 94 adventures. There's 88 people put them together. 94 adventures.
Hmm.
About 875 locations.
Wow. I have
Yeah.
a uh, a geocaching list already made up for traveling Route 66. That's just geocaches.
Right.
And I think there's 395 locations, like geocaches, and that's not including adventure labs. I could be out there for months.
I suspect that you probably will.
Well, I'm hoping retiring soon, and hopefully the border opens up and everything's good and clear that we can get out at some point. It is my goal to geocache and video our adventure from Chicago to Santa Monica. So
Super. And
hopefully,
when you get out here, make sure you contact me. Let me know when you're coming out here,
yeah,
so we can celebrate together.
that would be awesome.
That would be
We'll go
awesome.
to what is right on the pier. It's
Bubba Gumps.
Bubba Gums. There you go. We ate there once
All right.
because we
Very
had
good.
kids. So, and your route one, how has that gone so far? That's
It's gone.
all the way up the coast from
No, it's
top to
not.
bottom. Oh,
It's California Highway 1,
oh,
which
just
runs
California.
from,
Okay.
yeah, which runs from Dana Point to Mendocino County. At Mendocino County, it hooks back into the 101, and which is the freeway, and I just chose not to extend it. Uh,
Oh, okay.
but there are now people in Washington who are creating a Washington coastal series, and
Yep.
there's people in Oregon who
Oregon.
are creating an Oregon
Nice.
coastal series. So yeah, so once you've spent all your retirement time coming to Santa Monica, just zip down to Dana Point and then come up Highway 1, and either go up all the way to Canada or just hook over, come back to San Francisco,
Yeah.
and then you can take the Lincoln Highway all the way to New York
Huh.
and then home.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
I had thought of flying to Chicago and renting some kind of vehicle and driving it, but now that we have a daughter that lives in British Columbia, I think we'll just drive over to Chicago. It's not that far. We can get there in a
No,
day, and then start there, and then when we're done, drive up the highway, go to BC, and then
there you go.
collapse on her couch.
Cool. Absolutely.
So UDAC says I'll meet you in Santa Monica, and then Mini Mog says I'll meet you in Santa Monica too. So
Yep.
we'll have a party in Santa Monica.
We're going to have what we give us 2 weeks advance notice, and we'll have an event.
We'll have an
Not
event.
not on the pier, because
Right.
MUDAC knows it doesn't work. There's too much traffic on the pier, but we can go inland a little ways and have a great dinner and a great event.
Nice. Yeah. So we were happy to see what happened with the Lincoln Highway, and then of course the Route 66, and then your series, which led to the T-Chals series. We have 66 lab adventures up so far.
That's fantastic.
Which I thought was low. I thought, wow, man, 66, that's not a lot. But when you talking 95 and 86 or what 88, I said, wow, 66, that is really good.
That is really good.
Yeah, so we're doing well. We are missing Saskatchewan so far. There's not a whole lot of people there. And we had somebody in line, but I don't know what happened there. So Keats 94 is taking over, and he is our overlord, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The overseer. He's from British Columbia. He's going to take over looking after Saskatchewan, so we can get some labs there. So when I visit my brother, I have some labs to do. I have a brother that lives in Saskatchewan, one in Manitoba as well. So we have Ontario, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and now I have a relative in, well, my daughter in BC. So well covered.
Very good.
And I completed, there are 4 Trans-Canada Highway Adventure Labs on Vancouver Island so far. And we completed all 4 while we were away there. I made sure I did them. They were very nicely done. Yep. And there's going to be one coming up that's going to be in the water, halfway between Nanaimo and Vancouver. So you'll have to take the ferry in order to get the location. So they're going to put the fence really wide so that I guess you can get it without going on the ferry. But I wouldn't do that. I would say, make it a kilometer wide, so that if the ferry drifts around, when you drop the fence, you'll know it when you're on the ferry. And then there's something that they're going to have where you can see from the ferry.
Yeah.
So
maybe make it so it's all in water, but so it doesn't touch the land any place. But but you have to get on. So you do have to get on the ferry. But since you don't want to make the ferry have to get within 60 yards of.
It's like,
I'm
hey,
going to assume a buoy.
Left. You're not there. Oh, we missed it. Go back.
Exactly.
Here's a good question. Does Cache Canada own a T-Chals Adventure Lab? Well, Cache Canada doesn't, but London Westy does. And that's actually my geocaching name is London Westy. I have one from, actually it's quite long. It's about 110 kilometers long. Runs from just north of Parry Sound almost to Sudbury, and has 10 locations. And I do have one location where it is about a kilometer, say half a mile hike to a waterfall. But I made it in the description. You do not need to make the hike. The answer is in the description, and I've said because there are some people that will not be able to, and I feel I don't want to make it so not everybody can get it. So I said here, I would highly recommend you hike to the waterfall, but if you can't, here's the answer. It's in the description, and the fence is very wide, so it allows you to do that. So I really enjoyed making that one up. It's all about changes in transportation from the days of the voyageurs all the way up to today's 4-lane superhighways, and how each successive advance in transportation outdated the previous. So they went from water travel to cars, or trains, and then cars, and then superhighways and so forth. So pretty cool.
Perfect.
Doug Belanger, says,
and I'm going. Well, I'm going to imagine
yep.
that on T-Chails, some of those locations are going to be able to utilize the information that we talked here today.
Yeah, there is an area in Ontario from the Manitoba border where Highway 17 crosses it from Ontario into Manitoba. That Highway 17 is a main route through Ontario. It has a lot of cell towers. So you have cell service the whole way. But when you drop down to that, when you start traveling south towards Minnesota and then traveling along the top of Minnesota, there's not a whole lot of cell service there. We did that trip and you lose everything. So there are adventure labs there where you will need to open them up before you get into that area in order to complete them. Because I believe there are areas there will be absolutely no cell service for the entire length of the adventure lab.
And it doesn't have to be a cell phone. It could be a tablet.
Yeah.
It could, just any of these devices that connect to the internet that you can load the Adventure Lab app on, you can use. So don't go out there and buy all these fancy cell phones. If you have a tablet or whatever, just load it up. Okay.
Yep. So Dougie says he needs to create a cache tour plan to go from Newfoundland to BC, doing the T-Chals, then south on the Pacific Coast Highway, then northeast along Route 66, and finish off by doing the Lincoln Highway. Boy, holy doodle, that would be quite a trip.
It would. And when you're in Santa Monica, make sure you give me a call so we can set something up for you.
Yep. And Roger says, how does the ferry work with the no fee thing? I'm not sure. The no fee.
To set up an adventure lab, there should be no fees involved. Parking can be involved, but not not entry fees and things like that. That's a good question that I'm not going to touch with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, we're just going to leave it there, and who knows?
That's a great question. That's a great question, Roger. But
there's no reviewers to review saying you can't do it. So
no, but
shh, we didn't hear that question. Go away.
Actually,
no, Roger, we love you, but that's a good question.
That's a good question that probably should be addressed over to Ari up there at GCHQ.
Yeah. So Jeff might, I know who they are. If they put the lab in, he might spot it. Oh no, he won't. He doesn't look at them. He just gives the credit. So it's the reviewer or the coordinators might spot it. If they do, I don't know. That would be Keats. So
yeah. So that's probably a good question to ask before it goes live.
Yeah, that's a good question.
That is. But one of the nice things about adventures is they are easy to edit.
Yes.
So you can.
And that was a question, I think, when they first came out, there was some statements that once you've got it done, don't touch it, that you can mess things up. And no, you can edit it anytime. And it's a good thing to check your reviews. Unfortunately, you don't get advance notice, or you don't get notices coming to you when somebody does your adventure lab. You have to actually go and check. Hopefully that's something they'll correct in the future. But make sure you check, because sometimes there are adventure labs that do have significant issues, and some adventurers will let you know. I'm one of them. If there is a problem, I usually what I do is this is what bugs me about the adventure lab. You can't click on their name and get the send message or send an email. You have to, as far as I know, this is the only way I've figured out how to do it, is to take their name and search for a geocache in their area with that name. Find the geocache from that person and then email or message them. That's the only way I've figured out how to do it. You know
or what you could do, don't use the app, use your browser and go to geocaching.com, and you could send them a message and all that. There. Just bypass the app.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to go to geocaching.com. You have to say, let's say it's Windsor, Ontario. You have to go to Windsor, Ontario, search for all geocaches in Windsor, Ontario, and look for Windsor guy number 1. Boom. Oh yeah, he's got 10 geocaches listed. Then find one of them and then email him. It's a bit laborious to get through.
It is, because you're trying to do it entirely through the app, go through geocaching.com on your phone's browser.
Yeah.
And then you can click on message and you can type in
just type in the name.
that user's name and send him a message.
Boy, you learn something new every day.
And isn't that good?
Boy, I'm glad I had you on as a guest. Now I'm saving myself time already.
You are. And here, Bellagio is saying hi too.
Hello.
Hello, Bellagio. How are you?
Bellagio. Okay, is he named after the hotel?
It's actually her name is Bella. So
Bella.
it's
okay.
Her caching name is BELLA-GEO. So it looks like Bella Geo, but she's so classy. It's Bellagio.
Bellagio. If she's classy.
Oh yeah. You know, with a name like GSMX2, but GSM times 2, I couldn't have her. You know, her name be pronounced like it's phonetically.
So Dougie B says you can take their name and use the find another player feature on the browser.
Yeah, you could do that too.
Oh, this is a good way to do this. Vince says if you have a bonus attached to your lab, that's how you know when somebody's done the lab. It's an immediate indication that somebody has done the lab. One, I think, my first adventure lab. It's not a T-Chow's, but my first lab has a bonus cache. My T-Chow's didn't. I didn't want to have one with that. It was too long. You can search in the friends, find another player. We'll do the same, and yes, you can search by name. Very cool. Awesome. So we have come to near the end, but we have to give away these coins. So here we go. There's 1 and there's 2. So we're going to go with the first one, which is the tag. It's a very nice tag. It's got all the information. Oh, wait a minute. It says, actually says August 20th, 2020.
Oh.
So that is the beforehand. That is the rare GeoWoodstock tag. So here we go. So we're going to pick me, please, says Cantai Charles. Well, you have to answer. We are looking for the answer. Okay, Scott, you need to. Can you see the chat?
I cannot see the chat.
Okay, you can't see it in the app. Yeah. So if I'm going to look very carefully.
Oh,
if you look, if you open up, okay,
I just hit a button in there and I can see
there
it.
It was. Okay, awesome. Okay, so you can help me make sure I don't mess this up. Okay, so here we're going to have 2 questions. I'm going to put them up in the banner. I'm going to get rid of this thing here. Okay. Okay. Here's the first question. GeoWoodstock 18 is in Abbotsford. What is the name of the valley that it is in? Scott knows. So we're looking for the first comment to come through with the correct answer of what valley in British Columbia is GeoWoodstock 18 in 2022. It is an absolute. GeoWoodstock is happening. Are you going?
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. Okay. Oh, there we go. Abe Boudreau is the first. No, wait a minute. Doug Blah. No, wait a minute. No. It's now catching up. I think BK 649, BK 73.
That's what I had.
That's what you have? Okay, so there you go. BK 649 and BK 73. I believe you are the first to come chime in there. So yeah, Cantai Charles and Andrea and Doug and Boudreau, and they all got it right. So awesome. So there you go. That is the first tag. We'll get that off to you. This happens to be one of our patrons. Congratulations. And we actually met them in the field once. That was so cool. That
awesome. Is cool.
Yeah, we were doing a geo tour and they showed up and we said hello. It was so cool to see them in the field. Okay, so that was the first one. Congratulations. Good luck, everybody. To wait a minute. Boom. There we go. No. Boom. Okay, that was the first question. I'm going to get rid of that one. The second question. Okay, this might you might need to do a little research on this one, and that is a 2-part question. So we need both parts of this question. we need not where it was, but who hosted it. So, who hosted the first GeoWoodstock, the person's name, and what was the GC number? So that's going to take it'll be a quick Google search. Whoever can Google the fastest can probably get this. You can probably get the GC number very, very quickly. And BK649, BK73 says Yahoo. And that is a team, is a husband and wife team. Very, very nice couple.
Nice.
42. Yeah. Life, the universe, and everything. It's an answer to everything, right? No, that's not it. Get back, put your bathrobe back on and sip your tea. That's awesome. Do you know what the answer is, Scott? To either one of those?
I know the first part. I don't know the second part.
Okay, yeah, it's just yes, there we go. I think we have the answer right there, and I think it's UDAC, if it's caught up correctly. GC Go 3E and Joe GPS. Joe GPS was the godfather, is known as, or was the godfather of GeoWoodstock.
Absolutely.
It was just a regular event, and it took off from there, and now we're in 18 of them. Should have had this should be the 20th GeoWoodstock by now, but unfortunately that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
So yeah, Joe GPS.
Mike Swaney says GC. He got the GC, but not the name. So
yeah.
Yep. Sorry. Go ahead.
So Joe's GPS just kind of sent this invitation out to people who had a lot of caches at the time, like 800 to 1,000, and said, "Let's meet." And so that was just the start of GeoWoodstock.
Nice. Yeah. So there we go. We have 2 coins, and we'll send those out. Just send. I know BK their email, but UDAC. Send me an email to londonwesty@gmail.com, and then I can get your address, name and address, and we'll send that off to you. And I still have, we went away on vacation. I have another prize I was supposed to send away before, and that's not away yet. So if that person is watching and say, "Where's the prize I won?" It's still sitting on my desk. So we just didn't get it away before we went. So awesome. Thank you, Scott, for coming along and joining us today.
My pleasure. And again, if anybody has any experience or if they can add anything to that document, just send me a message, GSM ×2 through the geocaching message board, and I would love to add any information to it.
Good. Awesome. Well, I look forward to meeting you in August.
Seeing you. We have already met.
Again, meeting you again. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because now we know each other a little bit more. It'll be so much nicer to just kind of hang out and have some fun together. So
yep.
Looking forward to it. All right, stick around while we settle up here, and I'll talk to you after the credits roll. All right, thank you everybody for joining Scott and I here on Cache Canada Chats. Just a reminder that I think it's next week, we're going to be having Cache Shadow on again. Let me check my schedule to make sure. We're going to be giving away some more coins. We have 2 more, or actually I have 3 of these and 2 of the tags. So Cache Shadow, yes, Saturday, February 26th. I believe that's next Saturday. Cache Shadow is one of Ontario's 3 reviewers, and he does a regular thing or irregular thing. On Facebook, he posts a question. He says it's open mic night or whatever, and you can ask him any kind of question at all, usually geocache related, and he will give you an answer. It might even be correct. And then you can kind of just whatever. You can ask him anything, what he's drinking, the distance of the moon to the earth, whatever. So we'll be having him on as a guest. He's very funny. Please can join us and let everybody else know. Cache Canada Chats. And that will be the last live stream that we'll have for this winter season as we go into regular videos coming through. So our BC Adventure starts this coming Wednesday. Then we will have a regular episode in the morning, and then a live stream in the afternoon, and then it's right into geocaching in British Columbia for about a month or a month and a half. We have quite a bit of video lined up. So anyway, thank you everybody for joining us, and we will see you next Saturday. So thank you. And Scott, we'll see you in a bit.